Hello, this is Maurice Jackson. Before we present today's interview, I'd like to remind our listening audience that I'm a licensed broker to sell precious metals through Miles Franklin, where we have unlimited options to expand your precious metals portfolio. Stay tuned to the end of our interview for contact details, and I look forward to the opportunity to speak with you.
Welcome to Proven and Probable, where we deliver mining insights and bullion sales in the form of physical delivery, offshore depositories, and private blockchain distributed ledger technology.
Welcome to Proven and Probable. I'm your host, Maurice Jackson. Joining us today is Michael Rowley, the president and CEO of Group 10 Metals, which is known for platinum, palladium, nickel, copper, and cobalt in the Stillwater district of Montana. Mr. Rowley, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Maurice. Glad to be back.
Glad to have you back on the program, sir. Michael, I can only imagine the excitement your team and mostly prudent shareholders must be feeling as the press releases continue to show hit after hit of high-grade mineralization on your flagship Stillwater West project. Today's interview will be no different as we have more exciting results to provide shareholders. But before we begin, Mr. Rowley, please introduce us to Group 10 Metals and the opportunity the company presents to the market.
Well, thanks. I'd be glad to. We are indeed looking forward to starting our work this year on the ground, and we expect it'll be a breakout year for Group 10 with our first drill program following more than a year of compilation and targeting work. We are one of two companies active in the Stillwater district in Montana, which is world-renowned for its mineral wealth. Stillwater Complex is a layered magmatic intrusion that was formed about 2.7 billion years ago when successive pulses of metal-rich magma laid down multiple layers which cooled and crystallized to become a package of rocks that are about 8 kilometers thick. Those layers have been tipped up by the mountains to the south, and they now sit at an angle of about 60 degrees at Stillwater, which is very amenable to mining. And it means that mineralization we see at surface continues for many kilometers along the magmatic layers. The other company active in the Stillwater complex is Sibanye Stillwater. It's a company that was created when South African gold miner Sibanye bought Stillwater Mining in 2017 for $2.2 billion. They operate 3 mines on one deposit, known as the Johns Manville or JM Reef deposit. And that's the highest grade PGE deposit in the world, and one of the largest, which hosts 80 million ounces of platinum and palladium at over 16 grams per ton grade. To put that in perspective, we get excited when gold deposits have 10 million ounces at a couple of grams per ton gold. The JM Reef deposit is 8 times that size and also 8 times that grade. And it's open for expansion, even at that size. It's a truly fantastic deposit, and it speaks to the amount of metal that is there in the Stillwater system. Group 10 has a very large land position. We adjoin Sibanye Stillwater across about 25 kilometers, and we cover the lower portion of the Stillwater complex. We also have some claims above them in that layered geology. We made our first acquisition there in 2017 and quickly expanded our holdings as we got into the data and saw the potential there. As of today, we've more than doubled that initial land position. We've compiled a terrific database, which includes data from over 200 drill holes, plus physical core and some geochemical and geophysical surveys. So in broad view, we are the first to bring that land position together with the database. And doing that has attracted a world-class team that is familiar with these new geologic models developed in a similar layered magmatic system at the Platte Reef in South Africa.
Mr. Rowley, before we delve into the press release, can you provide a concise summary of the series of technical news releases Group 10 Metals has delivered starting in December of 2018?
This is a big project, and we've compiled a substantial database. Our early work defined 14 target areas. So with these news releases, we've basically gone west to east in a series of releases detailing the 8 bulk tonnage Platte Reef style target areas that we've been showing in blue ellipses in our materials. These have attracted the attention of basically every major you could name based on their size and potential. We also have 6 higher grade reef type target areas higher up in the layer stratigraphy, and those are shown in red on those materials. Geologists get excited when the 3 Gs, being geophysics, geochemistry, and geology, correlate or line up, and that is basically how we develop these 8 target areas. In each target, we see multi-kilometer scale geophysical anomalies, meaning areas of highly conductive rocks, and they correlate with large areas of high levels of metals in soils. And where we have the data, we see rock and drill data confirming that those conductive anomalies are indeed targeting copper and nickel sulfide mineralization. And what we'll get into today, and what's most exciting, is that 5 of the 8 target areas have a substantial amount of past drilling, which defines known mineralized zones and are open for expansion in terms of both grade and size based on our compilation and targeting work. The 3 most advanced of those areas, Chrome Mountain, Camp Zone, and Iron Mountain, will be our focus for drilling in 2019 as we see the potential to quickly advance known mineralization in those areas into our first formal resources at Stillwater West.
Mr. Rowley, take us behind the scenes and give us some insights on how the technical team, along with management, is feeling based on the successes and accomplishments from the 2018 campaign.
We're very excited. This continues to surprise us, and it appears very much like the potential is there for Platte Reef type deposits in Montana. Our work on the ground in 2018, working from existing core plus our own field programs, was very supportive. And of course, we brought Ivanhoe's Dr. David Broughton in, who is an expert in these Platte Reef systems, in September of 2018. So we're looking very much forward to 2019 based on that.
And speaking of 2019, looking forward, the company issued a press release on plans for 2019. What are the goals for 2019?
Everything we've seen to date confirms the potential for multiple large and very large polymetallic platinum, palladium, nickel, copper, and cobalt deposits at Stillwater. We are calling these Platte Reef-style deposits based on the similarities we see with the Platte Reef district of South Africa, which has become a world leader in the supply of low-cost platinum, palladium, nickel, and copper since the 1990s, with the development of Anglo-American's Mogalakwena mine and Ivanhoe's Platte Reef mine, which is now in construction. These are truly massive deposits, collectively over 400 million ounces of PGEs, plus tens of billions of pounds of nickel and copper. And they occur in the lower part of that Bushveld layered magmatic system. That same portion of the Stillwater complex has never been systematically tested for deposits of this type, even though the geological parallels are well known. The setting is correct, and every indication is there in the database, including drill results. That exploration process was basically interrupted at Stillwater. And of course, as mentioned a minute ago, we took a big step forward in 2018 when Dr. David Rowley, key member of the team at Ivanhoe's Platte Reef project, joined our team and confirmed that that potential is real at Stillwater.
Michael, take us now to the targets and exploration plans news release, which included some very exciting 3D modeling results.
We applied a technique called MVI, or Magnetic Vector Inversion, to our geophysical data. This is a cutting-edge technique that has been very successful in recent years, especially at Platte Reef, where it was instrumental in identifying an extension of their deposit, and also at a number of other projects, including some porphyry systems. The results show enormous size potential at Stillwater West. The magmatic layers that we see at surface, and these are the same magmatic areas that host those 5 drill-defined mineralized zones, appear to be continuous and kilometers thick. At the east side, under the Cathedral and Crescent target areas, the magmatic layers may be 1 or 2 kilometers thick. As we move west, it thickens to over 3 kilometers under Iron Mountain, which includes the HDR target, where we have our highest grades to date. And then at Chrome Mountain, further to the west, we see over 6 kilometers deep in some areas, which gets very interesting, as this may represent a possible feeder zone to the Stillwater complex. These become very compelling targets for drill testing when you consider the quantity of platinum, palladium, nickel, copper, and cobalt that we see elsewhere in the Stillwater complex, both on our ground in our target areas and also just a few hundred meters to the north in the JM Reef deposit, which is, of course, where Sibanye Stillwater is now mining at depths of up to about 2 kilometers. In addition to reporting the potential for size going down along those magmatic layers of the system, the June 4th news release also summarizes the 5 mineralized zones as defined by drilling to date, and it shows the potential to expand those areas laterally. The key point here is that there's been no systematic drill test of the geophysical highs that are adjacent to those mineralized areas, which is to say that we see the potential to expand those mineralized bodies in terms of both size and grade by testing the conductive highs that are adjacent, based on the relationship we see with conductivity and metal sulfide content. We are now finalizing our drill plans for 2019, which will target those conductive high anomalies while also offsetting past holes in order to quickly advance those known mineralized zones into our first formal resources in those 3 most advanced areas. These are massive systems, and even a modest drill program can quickly add ounces of precious metals and pounds of base metals by tying together the existing drill-refined mineralization and bringing that whole zone into a 43101 inferred resource capacity. Those initial resources will then provide Group 10 an important base valuation to build on as we expand and build out on those initial resources in future programs.
Sir, what is the next unanswered question for Group 10 metals? When should we expect results, and what will determine success?
Well, our most recent news discussed our targets and permit status, so the next news release is expected to be the start of work. We are currently in discussions with our major shareholders, who hold over $2.4 million of in-the-money warrants, with an eye to funding this year's work. This is a very supportive group, and we have a very good rapport with them, and I look forward to reporting on the results of those conversations in the coming weeks as we ramp up to an exciting field season in 2019. These are massive targets, and we have a terrific base to build upon. I think it'll be an exciting year.
Switching gears, last question, sir. What did I forget to ask?
Perhaps we could touch on the markets and the value proposition that is presented by Group 10, which, like a number of junior exploration stocks, is really undervalued relative to our target commodities and a number of other metrics. Group 10's market cap is about $9 million at present, and yet we have great assets in 3 truly world-class districts. At Stillwater, we share very rare geology and famously metal-rich district with an asset that is valued at nearly $3 billion. And I guess the last consideration, and an important one, is the fact that Group 10 is focused on an American asset at a time when the U.S. is recognizing a need to secure supplies of strategic and critical metals within its borders. We saw this recently regarding nickel and cobalt, and also in the past year with a broader list of commodities that included PGEs. The Stillwater district has some of the absolute best geology in the world for a number of the commodities listed, including nickel, cobalt, platinum, and palladium. And we're right there beside 3 active mines, which I think has to be compelling for Group 10.
And as a reminder, we interviewed Rick Rule earlier this week, and he discussed the virtues of being a contrarian investor. And one of the things that I want to leave our listeners with is the fact that you want to be a contrarian or you're going to be a victim. And in times like this, prudent investors have courage and conviction. They will be rewarded. And I think Group 10 Metals, and this is my opinion, is doing a remarkable job. The results that you're coming out with every press release are remarkable, and you're in the right location. It gives me full confidence as a shareholder that 2019 and beyond will be very exciting. Sir, before we close here, for someone listening that wants to get more information on Group 10 Metals, please share the website address.
I'd be glad to. It's group10metals.com, group10metals.com.
As a reminder, Group 10 Metals trades on the TSXV symbol PGE and on the OTCQB symbol PGEZF. For direct inquiries, please contact Chris Ackerman at 604-357-4790 extension 1. That number again is 604-357-4790 extension 1. He may also be reached at info@group10metals.com. As a reminder, I'm a licensed representative for Miles Franklin Precious Metals Investments, where we provide unlimited options to expand your precious metals portfolio, from physical delivery, offshore depositories, precious metal IRAs, and private blockchain distributed ledger technology. Call me directly at 855-505-1900. That number again is 855-505-1900. Or you may email maurice@milesfranklin.com. Finally, we invite you to visit provenandprobable.com, where we provide mining insights and bullion sales. Group 10 Metals is a sponsor, and we are proud shareholders for the virtues conveyed in today's interview. Michael Rowley of Group 10 Metals, thank you for joining us today on Proven and Probable.
The information presented on Proven and Probable is provided for educational and informational purposes only, without any express or implied warranty of any kind, including warranties of accuracy, completeness, or fitness for any particular purpose. The information is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, or trading advice, or any other advice. You should not make any financial, investment, or trading decision based on any of the information presented without first undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a professional broker or competent financial advisor.